live again tonight on this brand new thing we're calling Camp KTV. Now, before we get started, I want to thank all of you loyal fans who watched through like 8 minutes of black screen. There was nothing going on except me talking, and my wife gets to hear me talk all the time, so she can appreciate the patience it takes to do that. So thank you so much for staying online and watching, and even watching after we had to broadcast through a mobile phone. But we were not going to be stopped. You know, Camp KTV came about because we couldn't have camp, but we still wanted to have something that would be encouraging and uplifting to those familiar with Camp Koinonia. And because this is on the interwebs, our audience is much, much bigger, so we're excited about this. Camp KTV is going to be more than just a pre-recorded video, although we're going to have some of those. We're going to have live giveaways. We're going to have crazy games. We're going to have familiar faces from camp and much more. So normally at camp, we have this theme for the week, and we break down that theme every day. And we're going to do the same thing this week. And so our theme this week is life hacks, because there is a better way. You know, a life hack is a better way to do something. It could very well be life-changing and alter the way you operate and approach situations. And life hacks are ways to do something better that's not really working at the moment. And so the reason our theme is life hacks is because with all the temptations that are coming at us, it seems like it's getting harder and harder to remain a faithful and pure Christ follower. So we're going to look at the book of Daniel and observe just how Daniel and his friends managed to live in a culture that made it tough to follow the Lord. The verse we're going to keep coming back to is Romans 12:2. Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. And our goal is to help you figure out what the renewing of your mind looks like today. Today's topic in Life Hack is this: commit. A choice to remain true. A choice to remain true. So tonight we're going to look at three friends and a very hot day. We're going to talk about how if there really is only one way to heaven. And we're going to talk about how Jesus gives us direction and purpose when we follow him. Our prayer is that you will be encouraged and equipped by what you see on Camp KTV. So first up, let's find out what our practical life hacks are that we need today.
All right, so now he's about to put. Oh, I hate this part. Nope. That's disgusting, bro. Oh my gosh, what is he doing? What is this man doing? Oh my gosh.
Now explain what he's doing.
All right, so now he's just, unwrapping the. Wait, no, I don't know what he's doing. That dude flipped it around. He crazy. That's wild. Okay. What a life hack. Sheesh. Okay.
Hey, how are you doing, everybody? All right, so we're going to do our first giveaway right now. And excuse me as I get really close to the camera. We need our question for the day. All right, so here's our question. All right, are you ready for this? You're going to text your answer to 254-613-2121. All right, 254-613-2121. By the way, please include your name in your answer so I can know who to congratulate. Otherwise, I got to track you down, and it's just kind of hard. So, all right, are we ready? Are we ready for the question? All right, it's a music question. So you're going to finish these lyrics. I'm even going to sing it for you. This is how lucky you are. Hey there, Delilah, what's it like in Salt Lake City, San Francisco, New York City, or Tallahassee? Which one is it? Salt Lake City, San Francisco, New York City, or Tallahassee? Finish those lyrics. Send your name and your text, your answer to 254-613-2121, and we'll find out who wins that later. I almost got a paper cut on my eye. That hurt. All right, so we're going to bring in, we got a game for you tonight. Let's bring in our contestants. Let's see, Joseph and Chris, come on in here. And here's what I want you guys to do. If you will introduce yourselves to us. I know I just called your name, but let's go ahead and do it anyway.
Me llamo Joseph Knob.
Wow, you bilingual.
Bilingual.
Okay, awesome. Fantastic. How many years have you gone to camp? 7. All right, that's pretty good. All right.
I'm old man Chris. I work here, and I'm ready to beat this youngin into the ground.
You may remember Chris from the song, "And Let the Devil Hear It." You may remember that song, that part of the song. That's what put Chris Woodrow on the map. All right. So, here's what we're gonna do. They've got a challenge before them. I don't know if you've ever heard the TV show, but they're gonna play a game called Nailed It. All right. And so, excuses, I get right here to the camera again. We're gonna ask you guys to build gingerbread houses. You each are gonna build 2 of these gingerbread houses. You get to decide which ones you're gonna do. Your supplies are in the other room. They're gonna have to build these. And when they come back, they're going to have about 30 minutes or so. They're going to come back. We're going to judge and see who nailed it and who did not. So go ahead and take off in there if you guys don't mind. All right, let's have our other contestants, because now we're going to play a really good game called Fired Up. So let's do that. Let's get our contestants in here. And I'm going to do the same thing. I have you guys introduce yourselves. So, Zach, how long you gone to camp?
7 years as a camper, and then 5 years on staff.
All right. All right. So we've got a lot of veterans here, right here. So that's why we called on them, because we need their help. So we're gonna play a game called Fired Up. And so we're going to have them eat some hot chicken nuggets and then answer some trivia questions. So let me get our table out here. I'm going to spill this. All right, so for every correct answer they get some milk, because milk is known to help, quench the fire. So if we can have our first round of chicken nuggets in here brought in by Liliana. All right, so if you gentlemen would eat 2 of those, and we'll get started. So eat 2 chicken nuggets. How are those? Are those okay? Not too bad? Sour? First round should be okay. We're hoping we're going to really, get them fired up, but we'll find out. All right, so Cooper, you're closest to the screen, so you're going to go first. All right. Okay, if y'all will scoot this way just a little bit, we'll get this on the screen a little bit more. How's that? Okay, so first question, Cooper. How many blue stripes are there on the American flag?
0.
He says 0. Hey, that's correct. All right, for that, he gets 2.5 milliliters of milk. Congratulations. Oh, I apologize for the stuff that spilled out. All right, Seth, your question is, what animal is not part of the Chinese zodiac calendar? Is it dragon, rabbit, hummingbird, or dog?
Dog.
He says dog. It's the hummingbird. I'm sorry, no milk for you. All right, Zach, what country held the 2016 Summer Olympics? Brazil, Ireland, China, Italy.
Brazil.
He says Brazil. It was Brazil. Congratulations. We're going to give you a little milk. And by little, I mean little. You can lick it off the table. Yes, if you'd like to do that, we can absolutely do that. Okay, second round. All right. What planet is the hottest? Venus, Saturn, Mercury, Mars.
Mercury.
He says Mercury. It is actually Venus. So no milk for you. All right. In the Pirates of the Caribbean, what is the name of the Captain Jack Sparrow ship?
Black Pearl.
The Black Pearl. He gets some milk, ladies and gentlemen. He needs some milk. Yay. So we're all... I'm trying not to swear at that last bit. Okay. All right. The British band, One Direction, rest in peace, was made up of Harry, Louis, Niall, Zayn, and who? Liam. It is Liam. Congratulations. All right, let's get our next round of wings or chicken nuggets out here. That's lamb. Well, you know what? We're not doing spell check. All right, so 2 more nuggets, please. 2 more nuggets. How do those taste? Not too bad. They have better flavor. That's awesome. Have you had your second one yet? Dig in there, man. All right. Cooper's still working on that first nugget. Yeah, let's see. All right. I gotta wait till you finish the nugget. Huh? We'll just wait here patiently. Okay, we'll do this. What is the rarest blood type out there?
D, AB negative.
He says AB negative. That is correct. All right. All right, our next question is for Seth. What U.S. state is known as the Sunflower State?
Florida?
He says Florida. It is Kansas. No milk for you. All right. Zach. Which one of these characters was not part of the Friends group?
Gunther?
Gunther is correct. I believe Zach is in the lead based on the level of milk. All right, let's do our next round of chicken nuggets. Let's bring those out and get these off the table. All right, dig in, guys. We tried to smother them. You picked the one on the top. That's nice. Good job. Good on you. How we feeling? All right. I gotta admit, I'm a little disappointed in their reaction, but we'll see what the aftermath is, right? All right. Does not taste good. All right, Cooper, I believe in you. It's ready for you right here. This is ready. How many bones are in the human body?
206.
206. That is correct. Get that man some more milk. All right, Seth. What famous singer released a song called "Adore You"?
Here's the song.
I don't know. You can hear me sing "Adore You." That's
Harry
it.
Styles.
Harry Styles. It is Harry Styles. All right. He gets some more milk. All right. All right, Zach. Fe is a chemical symbol for what?
Iron.
He says iron. He is correct.
I guessed on the first 2.
All right, let's go to the next round. All right, here we go. Oh, it's getting a little hot now. Good. It's good to hear that. I was starting to think we were wasting y'all's time. A little kick in it. Awesome. That's fantastic. Okay, it looks like by the level I'm looking at, I think Zach and then Cooper and then Seth. I think that's the order of our placements. I think this one is sriracha. All right. I'm waiting on Cooper. Okay. What age do you have to be to work as a driver for Uber Eats? 16, 21, 19, or 18?
18.
He says 18. It is 19. No milk for you. All right. What year did Barbie come out? 1958, 1959, 1950, or 2001?
59.
59. That is correct. All right. Seth is catching up. All right, Zach. What is the #1 cookie in the U.S.?
Oreo.
Oreo. Of course it's Oreo. I'm going to have to get Zach another cup here in a second. All right. Is this our final round? Final round. No, we need 2. This is wasabi sauce. So, step up. Don't worry, there's milk to be had at the end of this. So, what are you doing? That's maybe cheating. This being the final round, we're gonna have y'all eat 3 of these.
Why does it smell like pain?
So
That tastes terrible.
why does it smell like pain? Is that what you said? Paint.
That tastes terrible. Oh my gosh.
You too can buy all these ingredients at HEB. That's where we got all these. Okay, we'll go ahead and get your second and your third. What? We need your second and your third one. Okay, for sake of time, just one more. How about? It tastes like a Sharpie. They say it tastes like a Sharpie. We don't encourage eating Sharpies. All right, so you've had your second. This is Cooper's second. Zach is about to leave the building. I've got a trash can here if you need a trash can. I'll put it real close. So if you need it, we'll get it on shot. We'll get it on the camera. All right. Come on, Zach. Come on, Zach. You can do it. Let's all chant for Zach at home. Zach, 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 Zach. Eat it. You guys are wiping off the best part, the sauce.
Right there.
I already did. I'm good. All right. Cooper, how many hearts does an octopus have?
3.
He has 3 hearts. He does have 3 hearts. We get some more milk for Cooper. All right, Seth. What social media came out? Quit wiping that off there, Zach. What social media came out in 2003? He says Facebook. It is MySpace. So sorry. Hey, by the way, I'm glad to see there's a tear. There's a little perspiration there, so that's good. I gotta tell you, if I was doing this, I'd be crying right now. So I appreciate you guys. All right, what boy band sings a song "I Want It That Way"? Is it One Direction, Backstreet Boys, NSYNC, New Kids on the Block?
One Direction.
It says One Direction. It was Backstreet Boys.
I got the only one that I should.
All right, so I think our winner is Zach. So congratulations, you guys can take your milk now. And Zach, for winning, you get a roll of toilet paper, and all of our contestants get a thing of Tums, so they can have a good night. Let's give them a big hand. I know they can't hear you clapping, but clap for them anyway at home. Let's give them a big hand for playing our game. Thanks so much, guys. Have a good evening. I do mean that, really. All right, so now we're going to have a word from our sponsor.
Are you tired of your bucket carrying all the water safely from place to place? Frustrated about the amount of water you started off with is the same amount when you reached your destination? We've been there. Rather than using a quality, reliable bucket, grab a Holy Pail. Holy Pail won't get all the water there, not even close. It's equipped with various size holes to ensure that the water goes everywhere. In fact, some of the holes are 1/4 of an inch in diameter. That's right, 1/4 inch. And are you tired of messing with that pesky handle? It's exhausting. Well, you don't have to worry about that on a Holy Pail. It doesn't even have a handle. You'll have to use 2 hands to carry this. Look, you can get a bucket that carries all the water at almost every big box store. I bet your neighbor has 3 of them. But what if you need a bucket that will water your yard as you walk across it? Good luck borrowing one of those. That's why you need to take advantage of this special product found only online and not in stores. Purchase your Holy Pail today, and we will create an additional hole. You heard right! Our trained craftsmen will add a custom-size hole in your bucket before we ship it directly to you. Don't continue to be frustrated with your bucket without holes. Get yourself a Holy Pail. Order today.
Simply make 25 payments of 56 cents each to have your Holy Pail today. Not responsible for wet clothes, wet shoes, wet hair, or tall grass due to overwatering. accept Visa, MasterCard, American Express, Discover, and cash. Call 1-800-555-PALE today.
Welcome back, everybody, to Camp K TV. Glad that you all were able to join us tonight. The wing eating contest was hilarious. Great job, Zach. We're going to start off with a little poll before we start class tonight. So if you'll go to menti.com and enter code 87478. We're going to poll the audience and see what is your favorite class location at camp. So your choices are amphitheater, upper pavilion, A-frames, boys pavilion, or back porch. Now I have my favorite place is the A-frames with upper pavilion running a close second. We haven't used the A-frames the past few years, so I'll have to vote upper pavilion if I'm choosing. Looks like one person loves the A-frames. I am a big fan of camp class and the A-frames. We're getting a lot more now. Oh, back porch, that surprises me. Upper pavilion. Got another one. Oh, amphitheater. It's trying to catch up. Oh, amphitheater's winning. All right. So my favorite, anytime Bruce asks me and I have a choice, will be upper pavilion or A-frames. Thanks for playing. What's your favorite location at Camp K with us? We're going to jump right into Bible class. Bible class tonight is going to be from Daniel chapter 3. So if you have your Bible and or a journal with you, if you'll turn to Daniel chapter 3, we're going to be in there just a little bit. Daniel chapter 3 starts off with King Nebuchadnezzar building a statue, a golden image that is 90 feet tall and 90 feet wide. His statue, he declares a decree that everyone should bow down and worship. Now, they have to do this anytime the music plays. So anytime there's any music or any of these instruments play, they have to stop what they're doing, no matter where they are, and bow down and worship this image. And so that's what everyone was doing, except for three of our friends, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. They were very faithful and worshiped only God, and they refused to bow down and worship this big image. Well, of course, the astrologers went out to tattle on their friends, and they were like, hey, king, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego are not bowing down and worshiping your image of gold. So this king got real mad, real furious, and he summons them and confronted them with this. And this is what they said to him. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego replied to the king, "O Nebuchadnezzar, we do not need to defend ourselves before you in this matter. If we are thrown into the blazing furnace, the God we serve will be able to save us from it, and he will rescue us from your hand, O king. But even if he doesn't, we want you to know, O king, that we will not serve your God or worship the image of gold that you have set up." And I like how Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego's faith is so strong. They live daily following God. They live daily asking God for guidance, and they're very prayerful, and they surround themselves with friends who pray for and with them. And so daily they're able to be renewed and strengthened and be able to commit to following God. So whenever they're confronted with this question from the king about why aren't you bowing down, they're able to say, we trust our God, we know our God, he will take care of us no matter what happens in the furnace or outside the furnace. And so, of course, the king gets mad again, even madder than he was. So he has the furnace heated even hotter. So he cranks up the heat on the furnace. He has the strongest soldiers come and bound Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego and lead them up to the furnace. And the furnace has gotten so hot that as they approach the furnace and Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego are being put into the furnace, it kills the soldiers, leading them up and putting them in the furnace. That's how hot the furnace had gotten. But the king notices something. And if we look in Daniel 3, starting in verse 24, here's what the king says. Then King Nebuchadnezzar leaped to his feet in amazement, and he asked his advisors, weren't there 3 men who were put into the fire? They replied, "Oh, king, yes." He looked and said, "I see 4 men walking around in there, unbound and unharmed, and the 4th looks like the Son of God's." Nebuchadnezzar then approached the opening of the blazing furnace and shouted, "Shadrach, Meshach, Abednego, servants of the Most High God, come out, come here." So Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego came out of the fire, and the satraps, prefects, governors, and royal advisors crowded around them. They saw that the fire had not harmed their bodies, nor was a hair on their heads singed. Their robes were not scorched, and there was no smell of fire on them. Then Nebuchadnezzar said, "Praise be to God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, who has sent his angels and rescued his servants. They trusted in him and defied the king's command and were willing to give up their lives rather than to worship or serve any other god except their own God. Therefore, I decree that people of any nation or language who says anything against God, says anything against the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, be cut into pieces and their houses turned into piles of rubble. For no other God can save this way." Then the king appointed Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego in the province of Babylon. So if you're familiar with Daniel, you've seen before where the king recognized that he wasn't always serving the right God, or he didn't really know God, but calls out for the people of all nations to honor Daniel's God, or in this case, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego's God. And it's like he has to learn this lesson several times. But Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego stand so strong, and they know God, and they're able to encounter whatever comes their way because they are committed to walking with God. So what does that mean for us? So as I was thinking through this lesson, I thought, okay, how can we be with God as we make decisions and walk through life, especially as teenagers, right? So I'm going to have you go back to Minty.com, the same code if you've closed your browser out, 87478. And I want you to enter in what are some everyday and life decisions that you are making, are about to make, or you know that are coming up pretty soon. And so as you're doing that, we're going to talk about when we make these decisions, how do we stay connected to God? How do we know how God is leading to us? How can we be committed to our walk with God? So we're going to take this funnel here, have 3 of them. The funnel is going to represent God. Our empty water bottle is going to represent the answer that God has given us. The water is the decisions we're asking for help with. So if we filter or funnel our decisions, our questions, our concerns, God, what does it mean for me? Is this the direction I should be going? What about this? Does this make sense? Is this going to draw me closer to you or pull me farther away? As we allow God to funnel through and give us an answer, sometimes it is just like red. Red means stop, don't go, not where I'm wanting to lead you. Forget that. Turn away from it. Let's try a different direction. And then sometimes we'll take our funnel, our God. We'll be praying about things and needing directions for. And as we ask and search and look for what direction we need to be going in, the answer is very clear. It's green. It is for go. We don't have to think twice. We just have to act now, right? God has given us a clean green light to move forward with that decision. Let's see what some of y'all have said, have answered. to go to workouts or sleep in. True, very real for your world, I'm sure. College choices, friends, and extracurricular activities, huge in your world. I suspect they get harder every year with, do my extracurriculars line up with the college I'm wanting to go to? Is that what I need to be do? What should I spend my money on? Exactly, especially those of you who are working and learning that it doesn't come easy. College or military. I love this one. They start off with college, but then it's trying to do the right thing every day and not falling into sin. And those comes with like everyday choices, like all the time, all day long. But sometimes, as we're thinking through a lot of these choices and a lot of these decisions that we need to make, we take God and we're like, okay, God, here's what's going on, right? I need some guidance. What direction should I go? Is this going to bring me closer to you or bring me farther away from you? Can I be committed if I make this choice to what you have planned for me? And sometimes the answer is like yellow. So if we think of a red light, green light kind of situation, the yellow bottle resembles like caution or slow down, right? So maybe God's wanting you to do a little bit more study, or maybe the timing's not right. Maybe God needs to prepare that situation for you or prepare you for that situation before he gives you the green light. Maybe he wants you to spend some more time in prayer and have a better understanding of certain things. You have your Bible, you have prayer, you have people who in your life who want you to succeed and be strong in your faith. And so you go to them and you ask and you talk and you figure things out. So sometimes it's very much green, sometimes it's slow down, and sometimes it's stop and it's red. But all of the decisions and that you're trying to make these days, just know that if you stand committed with God and allow him to lead you, you'll be able to stand strong when questioned, like Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. So if you're still adding to your to the question here, please do so, because I will look at those later and I will be in prayer for you and your decisions throughout this summer as you try to lead and follow God and be committed. Before we end tonight, I'm going to close this in a prayer. I believe that there are a couple of things that we can glean from Daniel to help us in our everyday prayer life. So as I lead us through this prayer, I ask that you receive it and then you pull pieces from it that make sense for you and apply it to your daily prayer life, and as you grow closer to God and become more committed to him. Will you bow with me? God, please help us to always have a sense of our own destiny that is found in you, and not let the world affect who our identity is or compromise our purpose in any way. Thank you, Jesus, that when the heat is turned on in our lives, you get in the fire with us, and we are faithful, and you are faithful to those who are faithful to you. Please help us keep you in the front of all of our thoughts, so that you are our guide through our thoughts and our decisions, no matter how big or how small. We thank you so much for your love, God, that you give us. We thank you so much for your son and sending him to save us. It's in his name that we pray. Amen.
Hello, sports fans. We're back with another game in our best of two series between Mason Munns and Katie Beaver.
That's right. I gotta tell you, I think this is gonna be a quick game tonight, Zach, given how fast Mason put Katie away in the game last night. He truly lived up to his nickname and hit it out of the park with that signature shot.
In case you missed it, we're talking about Mason Munns, who won in baseball fashion last night, and his opponent, Katie Beaver.
Indeed. Let's take a look at it again, shall we? After it looked like Katie was going to run away with it, Mason made an amazing shot.
Now remember, they will be playing one match each tonight. Each match consists of best 2 out of 3 games. Whoever is the first to win 2 matches will be named champion. And once again, we'll be showing you the highlights of tonight's game instead of the whole match.
I gotta tell you, Zach, it was awfully compelling to watch these two trade shots back and forth, and back and forth, and back and forth. Did I say compelling?
Yes, you did. But it actually got very interesting in the setup of Katie's shot here. She didn't get the one ball to fall after a great shot.
Well, it seems as though Mason will win again, and what are you looking at, Zach?
It appears Katie is deploying her signature move, the stink eye.
You're right, Zach. She's trying to intimidate that ball to fall, but I hardly think it will.
She's done it! She's done it! Katie stared down that one ball, giving it the evil eye or stink eye, whatever you want to call it, and it fell to the pressure. Katie has won tonight's match and tied the series 1-1.
Wow! I just don't believe it. Can you believe it, Zach?
Sure.
Well, okay. My friend here isn't easily surprised. I guess we shouldn't be either, as Katie defeats Mason tonight.
Which will take the series to match number 3 tomorrow night. Tune in to see the conclusion of our 2020 Senior Week Carpet Ball Throwdown.
All right. So how about that Katie Beaver? She's a looker, isn't she? I like that. All right. We're gonna time to reveal our giveaway, and so our winner was Jimmy Hall from Gatesville, and they were having a watch party tonight. So thank you very much. It's good to see you guys watching. I saw a picture of that. So let's find out what you won, Jimmy. Let's see if I'm as good at dart throwing as I was last night. Oh man, I ruined my record. Let's try it again. There we go. We got $30 cash right there. $30 cash. By the way, if you get, when you respond, when you text in your answers, you're going to get a response. You're not going to get a response from anybody except me on the camera. So I'm going to tell you from here on out if you won. So if you get a text that someone tells you you won, they're messing with you. It's going to come from me on the screen right now. So let's do our other giveaway, and then we're going to transition to our nailed it conclusion. All right. Here's a Who Am I? Who am I? I was born on this day, 1987. I play soccer for Barcelona and Argentina. I'm arguably the best player in the world with 6 Golden Ball awards. Am I? I'm not going to be able to read these names. A. Paulo Dybala. B. Cristiano Ronaldo. C. Sergio Aguero. Or D. Leo Messi. So, are you Dybala, Ronaldo, Aguero, I'm going to mess it up, and Messi? Which one is it? You're going to text your answer and your name to 254-613-2121, and you're going to hear from me on screen if you won. That's how you're going to know if you won. All right, so let's go ahead and call out our Nailed It contestants. They're going to bring out their creations, so come on out and let's get your creations and come on out. I peeked in on them earlier. It's interesting. It's interesting. So let's, are you guys coming? Okay, here we go. Here we go. Let's see what they got. All right, so what they were looking for was this right here. Can you see this? I don't know how much in focus this is, but let's have you step up a little closer to the camera so we can see. Okay, well, that's a little too close. It's gonna put him out of focus. Actually, out of focus may be better. I don't know. All right, so tell us what were you going for with your creation here? Because it doesn't really look like any of these here. I'm not sure.
Well, I got a little hungry, so I only had a limited number of supplies.
So you ate your supplies?
I did.
Did you eat all the fondant?
I did. It was really good.
You got to talk louder, apparently.
It was really good.
So he ate all the fondant, which you need the fondant for the... All right, so let's go this way.
Bruce, we are creative souls, and two houses seem so 2019. We're in 2020. We made double-decker houses.
I see.
Yes.
So they pretty much broke the rules and did whatever they wanted to do. That's interesting. I'm not sure if I had to pick a winner. I'm going to go with Chris's because it's still standing. So that works out. That works out really well. All right, we're going to go ahead and y'all go ahead and take a hike. Wow, that was not anything near this at all. Now, I mean, if you remember our contestants, they were working on trying to get something that looked, well, something that looked like this. We weren't really looking for something that kind of looked like this. We were looking for this. There was pretty much one way to win this game, and this was the final product, which leads me to wonder, is there really just one way? Is there just one way to heaven? Can't people follow other paths? And that's exactly the topic of tonight's Crash Course lesson. So check it out right now.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Crash Course Lessons on Camp KTV. My name is Vince. Let's get to it. All right, so for today's Crash Course lesson, we are going to start off with a story, a parable, if you will, just like Jesus told. And it starts like this. There was a man walking down the way, and he fell in a hole. And the hole was too deep for him to get out of. So as the man was in the hole, he called out for help. And a traveler approached. And the traveler said, if you want to get out of the hole, you need to meditate and find peace. Once you're purified, you will reach nirvana, and you won't be in the hole anymore. So the man in the hole said, okay, all right, I'm going to check this out. I'm going to try it. So after meditating and maybe hoping to find nirvana, the man was still stuck in a hole. And yet, another traveler approached. And this traveler was a little different. He had a different idea. He said, the hole doesn't exist. You don't exist. This is all just a figment of your imagination. And we're just running through it together. So the man thought, okay, great, the hole doesn't exist, I don't exist, and yet here I am, existing, still in the hole. So, as he's still stuck in the hole, another traveler approached. Man, I'd be disappointed at this point. I'd be frustrated at this point. And this traveler said, what you need to do is good deeds. If you do good things while you're down there in the hole, you may not get out of the hole now, but you might get out of the hole and be reincarnated as something better. So you may not get out of the hole in this life, but in your next life, it'll be so much better.
I'm finished! Finally, I'm a beautiful butterfly!
The man thought about this, and lo and behold, he was disappointed again. So another traveler yet comes. And this traveler said, okay, you're doing it all wrong. You're not going to get reincarnated. You don't need meditation and peace. You need to face east and pray 5 times a day, okay? So if you face east, you pray 5 times a day, and the divine will come and save you. So the man thought, okay, this is it. This is how I'm going to do it. I'm going to face east, I'm going to pray 5 times a day, and hopefully we're going to get out of this hole. And he did this, and he did this, and he did this, and he was still stuck in the hole. So finally, one more traveler approached. And this traveler asked the man, he said, do you want to get out of the hole? And the man pleaded, yes, I would love to get out of the hole. This traveler, who jumped in the hole, picked up the man and got him out of the hole. And finally, he saw daylight for the first time in a long time. So our question today is this. Is there only one way? Is there only one way to God? There's only one way out of the hole. You can kind of guess and pick out which religions are which in this parable that we're talking through. And obviously the last one, we're talking about Jesus. Jesus came from heaven to earth and dug us out of the depths, dug us out of our sin. Now, if we believe that there's only one way, and we believe that Jesus is the only way, we have to be able to trust the Gospels, right? We have to be able to believe they are true. So that's the question, that's the kicker. Are the Gospels true? Do you believe that the Gospels are true?
Tell her the truth!
So a lot of people can take the Bible and they can twist its words. You could argue that the Bible says slavery is a good thing. You can argue a whole bunch of different pieces from the Bible and try and give them any kind of context you want to give them. So why do we believe the Gospels are true? And why do we need to start there? We need to start there because we believe Jesus is the way. We believe Jesus is the one way. So let's figure out what other things say about the Gospels, about Jesus, and figure out what is actually true, and can we trust the Gospel? All right, we're going to take a very quick and a very shallow dive into all this material. Okay, here we go. Let's start right here. So, around the year 64 AD, when the Emperor Nero had set the city of Rome on fire, there was a guy. His name was Cornelius Tacitus. And he wrote this about Jesus. He said, Nero substituted Christians as culprits who started the fires. Christ, the founder of Christianity, had undergone the death penalty in the reign of Tiberius by sentence of the procurator Pontius Pilate. Now, if that doesn't sound familiar, right? It sounds almost exactly like what our Bible says. So, the non-Christian writers say a lot about the same exact thing about Jesus. So we can confirm that Jesus was real, right? We can confirm that he walked the earth. Because not just Christians were writing about him, non-Christians were writing about him too. If you want to learn more about this, you can look at the book Can We Trust the Gospels by Peter J. Williams. You can check the link in the description and you can take a more in-depth look at about the non-Christian scholar. Let's talk about the gospel writers now. Did they know their stuff? Did they actually know what they're talking about? Or were they making up cities? Were they making up names? Let's talk about that for a second. So the gospel writers display a knowledge of names, geography, finances, and Judaism that not very many people could replicate. Only people who lived in that time frame and who were around Jesus could even come up with some of the names that were mentioned, some of the places that were mentioned. A person that didn't live there at that time or didn't live in that area would never know anything about that. And each gospel displays unique information. So they didn't copy off each other entirely. Some sections are almost identical, but there's also unique pieces from each writer. And when you compare later gospels, because there are other gospels, there's a gospel of Thomas, a gospel of Mary, they're not a part of our Bible. And for good reason. When you compare them to our gospels, they are missing information. Their knowledge of geography, their knowledge of names, their knowledge of Judaism are not accurate, or at best, very, very limited. So our gospel writers, 100% for sure, knew their stuff. So let me end on this note here. The only thing that is unexplainable from the gospels is the miracles. That's the only thing that takes any faith at all. If we can prove that Jesus existed, we can vet the gospel writers and know that they really had a good knowledge of what they were writing about, then if all we have to have is a little bit of faith to believe that Jesus did miracles, I think I can get there. So the question is, do you believe in miracles? So can you believe that Jesus raised Lazarus from the dead? That he healed many different people of leprosy, of bleeding, of all these different diseases? Can you believe that he walked on water? We can prove his existence. We can prove that the Gospels themselves are true to the geography, to the finances, to the people's names, to what Judaism was and how it worked in that time. If we can prove all these things, and all we're missing is the miracles, can you have faith that the Gospels are true? If you do, then you can believe this. Jesus said, "Do not let your hearts be troubled. You believe in God, believe also in me. My Father's house has many rooms. If that were not so, would I have told you that I'm going there to prepare a place for you? And if I go to prepare a place for you, I will come back and take you to be with me, that you also may be where I am. You know the way to the place where I'm going." Thomas said to him, "Lord, we don't know where we're going, so how can we know the way?" Jesus answered, "I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. If you really know me, you will know my Father as well. From now on, you do know him and have seen me." Jesus is the way, the truth, the life. Is there only one way to heaven? That's for you to decide. For me, I believe there's only one way, and it is Jesus.
All right, thanks, Vince, for that crash course lesson. All right, so I have the winner of our giveaway. It is McKenna Morrow. So, McKenna, let's throw and find out what you got. I'm going to try for the 3 over here. Let's see if we can get... I'm ruining my record. It's really bad. There we go. It's going to get really hard tomorrow night. All right. So, McKenna, you win the gigantic candy pack with the 3 packs of gum and several different kinds of candy. So, congratulations, McKenna, for winning that. All right, so let's do our last giveaway, and then we're going to do another game in just a second. So we got a Bible question for you. All right. 254-613-2121. Send your name and your answer to 254-613-2121. And you'll get a response for me on screen telling you won. If you get a random text, ignore it. All right. Which New Testament book has Jesus' Sermon on the Mount? Matthew, John, Mark, or Luke? Which gospel book has Jesus' Sermon on the Mount? Matthew, John, I don't know why I'm doing out of order. Matthew, Mark, Luke, or John. Let's just do it that way. All right. So at this time, what we're going to do is we're going to pull in Marquito. And if you didn't know, Marquito is our intern at Belton Church Christ. And so he's going to help us play a game we're going to call Humdinger. And so basically, we need 2 people to call in. Call 254-613-2121. We're going to take our first 2 callers. It's going to ring on my phone right here. And we're going to have you play on your phone. And you may have to hold that phone up there, Mark.
All right.
So I need you to call in 254. Oh, wait, we have our first caller. Let's find out. Hello, who is this?
This is Mason.
Hey, Mason, how are you doing?
I'm good.
Excellent. All right, I'm going to give that to you, Mark. All right, so we need our second caller. We're waiting on our second caller to come in. Who's going to play Mason? Oh, wait, I've got it right here. Hold on, Mason, just a second. All right, who am I talking to here?
Hello?
Hello? Who is this?
Hello? This is Josie.
Josie, all right. Josie, you may have to go in the other room because we can hear the broadcast on the radio, and it's going to be a big echo. Okay, so I'm going to merge calls. So, all right, so we should have Josie and Mason on the phone. Are you there? Are you both there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, so he's going to hum a song, and you're going to try to identify the song based on his beautiful humming skills. Okay?
All right.
So he's going to hum really loud into the phone because that's the only way they can hear you, and you're going to hum really loud into the mic because they can only hear you that way. Everyone else. All right. So in order to buzz in, you've got to say your name. You get, like, for instance, if Mason wants to buzz in, he's got to go, Mason! And we say, okay, Mason, what's that name of that song? And you got to name the song, okay? Everyone understand?
All right.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Whenever you're ready, Mark.
All right, here's the first one.
Sweet Caroline, Josie, Sweet Caroline.
No, I did first. That's me.
Even though, yes, we're still learning the game, but Josie did jump in there first. So we're going to give 1 point to Josie.
Okay, Josie has 1 point.
All right, excellent.
Not fair.
All right, here's the next one.
Mason.
Star Wars, Josie, Star Wars.
What? He's got us buzzed in.
Mason told his name first.
Okay, Mason buzzed in first. Mason, you buzzed in first. What is the answer?
The Star Wars theme song.
That is correct. Be sure, Josie, don't reveal your answer just in case Mason may miss it. So you don't want to reveal your answer. If he misses it, you get a chance to answer, okay? So you're evened up 1-1. Let's go next one.
Let's go.
Josie, shake it off.
Dang. She got that one.
That is correct. Josie got it Shake It Off by Taylor Swift. Wow, she's doing really well. All right, 2-1.
All right, here's the next one.
Mason, hey Jude. No, I said it first.
Who do we get first? I think it was Mason that said his name first. Is that right? All right, so it's 2-2. This is getting interesting.
All right,
2-2.
All right, here's the next one.
Yeah, you got to be sure you say your name, but don't call out the answer. Just say your name. Just say it once.
Oh, Josie.
Okay, Josie, what is it?
Is it Sunday Best?
Yes.
That is correct.
Wow.
Dang it.
All right, 3-2 in favor of Josie.
Next one. All right, this one's a little tougher. Here we go.
All right, we're stepping it up.
Mason.
Okay.
Is it like best friend's house or something like that?
That's one of the lyrics, but no, that's not the name of it.
It's Josie.
Oh, I can sing the whole song.
Josie.
Josie.
Josie, what's the title?
Is it tongue tied?
Yes.
It is tongue-tied.
What the heck?
Hey.
All right, that's 4-2, right?
Yeah.
Okay, come on, Mason.
gosh.
It's not over yet.
She's using what's it? Oh, Mason.
All right, Mason.
Stars at night are big and bright, deep in the heart of Texas.
Well, what?
The stars at night are big and bright.
What's the title,
deep
Mason?
In the heart of Texas. Deep in the heart of Texas.
Okay,
Sorry,
there you go.
Okay.
Deep in the heart of Texas. 3-4.
Inspired me.
Josie's still in the lead. How many more do we have left?
We have one more.
One more left. So he can either tie it
Okay.
or Josie wins.
All the marbles.
All right.
I gotta think of this one because I forgot this one. Lily played it for me. It's cool. Hold on. All right, I got it.
Josie.
Okay.
Yeah, Josie.
Perfect.
Yes.
By Ed Sheeran, that's correct. Josie, you are our winner. All right, I will contact you. I got your phone number here. I'm going to contact you later on, and tell you what, you won $10 at
This is not fair.
Chick-fil-A. How about that? $10 gift card to Chick-fil-A. Thanks for playing, guys. Guess what? We're going to do this again tomorrow night because the Zoom game kills our computer, and we're not doing that anymore. So, thanks for playing. Let's see. Am I going to do? I've got a giveaway result. Yes, I do. It was Ella Grace. The answer was Matthew, and Ella Grace got that correct. So, Ella Grace, let's find out what you won. I don't know what's in each of these, so I'm going to go for the yellow one in the middle, right there. How do you like that one? I can call my shot. All right, so Ella Grace, you get the Camp K ball cap, and I had one personally made for myself. So we'll talk about color. If you want different color, we'll do whatever. We'll put the logo wherever you want. But you're going to get a limited edition Camp K cap. So that's awesome. All right. So as we're wrapping up, we want to hear our final word from our good friend Bo Ballard, who's at Robinson Church of Christ. Here's Bo giving us our final word.
Hey Camp K, I'm glad you've tuned in here tonight. It's kind of been a weird year, and I'm gonna miss seeing all of you. And probably the thing that I'm gonna miss the most is the staff versus camper competition, and how the staff, of course, is gonna beat the campers. But that's what I'm gonna miss the most. Probably several of you have been bored over these past few weeks and months. Have you had a lot of free time on your hand? But one of the things, whenever I've got some free time, here are the things that I like to do.
Stop taking my chips. Stop taking my chips, okay? Okay.
I want to share with you something that I feel like is one of the key components of our faith. And let me illustrate it to you this way. Whenever a house is being built, the very first thing that a builder begins with is the foundation. Whether it's a concrete slab or cinder blocks that go beneath a house, and that the floor can be built on those cinder blocks, or whatever that it might be. They start with the most essential part of the house. The walls go on the foundation, or on the floor, on the cinder blocks, and everything else that connects in that house connects to it. And that's when I feel like Jesus, as he's sharing and as he's training his disciples before he departs, one of the things that he says, I am the way and the truth and the life. and that no one comes to the Father except through me. When Jesus says that I am the way, my mind automatically turns to kind of like a sign or a one-way street sign. We have several of those kind of roads downtown Waco, and I'm sure that you have been on those before. But if you are going the wrong way, you could possibly get a ticket. You might have people honk at you and wave their hands and say, hey, you're going the wrong way. And that all is to keep traffic flowing the way that it's supposed to, but it's basically supposed to help the downtown area. And I feel like that's what Jesus is kind of talking about. And he's saying that I am the way. When he says I am the truth, my mind goes to kind of like a test, a true-false worksheet or a test. And that you have a sentence and you have to decide whether or not it's a true statement or it's a false statement. You have to make that choice. And you know, a lot of times you get a 50-50 chance of getting it right. But whenever Jesus says that he is the truth, that means that everything else is false. When he says that he is the life, my mind goes to another verse that he says in John where he talks about how a thief comes to steal, kill, and destroy. But Jesus comes, the good shepherd comes, so that they may have life and have it to the full. I almost think about this verse as it's kind of like an equation, or it would be 2 + 2 = 4, or 1 + 1 = 2. But it would be Jesus being the way as being one part of it, plus if you believe that Jesus is the truth as the other part, plus those two parts, and that would equal life. Life to the full. When we hear the words, Jesus is the way and the truth and the life, one of the things that I believe that hurts us or hinders us from fully understanding this is what I like to call the sandwich problem. And let me illustrate it to you this way. I have asked a member of our youth group to make a turkey sandwich. And so she has volunteered to do that, and I want you to watch her as she makes it. How many of you, whenever you were watching her make that sandwich, you were thinking, why is she doing it that way? Why is she putting mustard and mayonnaise on the sandwich? That's what I was thinking. I was thinking I would just put mayonnaise, lettuce, tomatoes, pickles, ham, or turkey. There's all kinds of different ways that we can make a sandwich. Whenever you go to Subway, you have all kinds of choices. You have a choice for a different kind of bread, different kind of meat, if you want it toasted or not, different vegetables that you can put on there. And it's the same way almost in any store that you go to. You go to Walmart, you go to a grocery store, and you have all different kinds of choices. And sometimes that hurts us because that's our way of life. That's how we live in our world today. But when Jesus says that he is the way and the truth and the life, that means there's only one way. There's only one truth and one life. He is that way. And so that hurts us in a lot of ways because we're not used to that. When you finally figure out that you have been going the wrong way, or you have been believing something that is not true, how do you respond? What do you do? Do you continue to go the wrong way? Do you continue to believe something that's untruthful, that is a lie? More than likely what we do is we turn around, or we begin to believe the things that are true. It calls us to action. It calls us to do something. When we truly believe that that Jesus is the way and the truth and the life, then it causes us to get busy and to be looking for opportunities of how we can help other people believe the same thing that we did. And that's what Jesus ultimately wants us to do. He wants us to believe that He is the way. But He also wants us to join in with other people who also believe that. And to me, that's what Camp K is all about. Daniel knew exactly what choice he needed to make. He could follow King Nebuchadnezzar's way, or he could follow God's way. And he decided to follow God. He was convicted in his heart, and he felt like that he needed to follow God and not worship any other idols. And so that's my prayer for you, is that of all the choices that you might have in this world, is that you only have that one choice, that who you will follow, and that's Jesus. And that you let Him become your way, your truth, and your life.
Thanks so much, Bo. We appreciate that. You know, sometimes I think the word commit has lost some of its meaning. There are things that people commit to that they don't always follow through on. But as we saw tonight in our lesson, true commitment is the choice to remain true no matter what. So why is that a life hack? Why is that such a big deal? Because God has been committed to remove all the barriers in the way of our salvation. No longer can sin keep us from spending, we get to have a life-filled eternity, and sin no longer gets in the way of that. Our Heavenly Father has already committed to us. How committed will we be to Him? Commitment is a life hack because if we are committed to your craft, to a sport or drama or band, it will dictate how you spend your time and what you focus on. Commitment to God is a life hack because if you choose to say that no matter what, you will stay faithful, that you will be dedicated to the Lord, and that what He'd have you do, that's a life hack because it will change how you operate. What you say and what you do, it will dictate how you spend your time and what you focus on. Commitment, a choice to remain true. A much needed life hack for us today. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. I think our production was so much smoother. We had no technical issues, I think. But thank you so much for joining us. Join us again tomorrow for our final night of Senior Week for more games, more fun, more lessons. And until then, remember that you are His, you are loved, and what you do matters.